That's for next week.
That's your clue for next week.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to Australian Commentaries. This week we're talking about the Barbie movie. I was about to say I'm Lon Harris, but I was looking at you.
It's my
Spencer J.
Barbenheimer
Gilbert.
shirt.
That's Lon Harris rocking the Barbenheimer shirt. We're going to talk about Barbie the movie. I was going to say Inside and Out, also probably inappropriate.
Ooh, no.
We talk about our deepest thoughts about the Barbie film.
We're going to discuss it very superficially, I promise.
Surface level. Deleted scenes, Q&A, so put those in the chat if you have any comments or questions, and then we'll tease you with next week's Honest Trailer, which is what we were talking about before the cameras started rolling. And, oh boy, I don't think we're going to make any new internet friends.
No, man, they're going to be mad at us.
Woo, boy. We'll see if we pull any punches or if they are as long and stretchy.
All the punches are they're pulled like taffy, all these punches.
Okay, well, you gave it away. But now we're talking about Barbie. Barbie was a much ballyhooed film, much hyped. I think this got a lot of people to the theater again.
It did. Save cinema.
Greta
saved cinema. What can you say?
Cinema, and she must pay for that, according to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I thought this was a funny comedy movie that I liked, and I didn't feel personally attacked as a man.
No.
I felt able to enjoy the comedy and the characters, even though they didn't have genitalia at all.
I actually feel like for all yes, there's a lot of jokes about patriarchy and feminism. Like, obviously it's dealing with all those issues, but I think at core, I don't think the message of the movie is like dudes are bad or stupid or all those things people were getting so upset about. It's really like we're all kind of penned in by these forced gender roles and these ideas of who we should be based on superficial stuff like our biological gender at birth. And I think, the movie's kind of saying, like, you can sort of free yourself of that
also,
for everybody, for men and women.
A, it was a comedy, and B, like a satire where they're taking real differences and perhaps heightening them for comic effects.
Sure, of course.
Maybe
yes.
it's not a documentary.
about this is real. This is what Barbie
really happened. Free the Kens.
This is what's happening in Barbie Land right now.
Yeah. So they flipped it. The only like commentary is like, what if in Barbie Land guys were treated like historically girls and girls were treated historically like guys?
Yeah.
And go from there to make jokes.
I agree with what you're saying, that I think everybody immediately jumped to the, like, let's write a paper breaking down the discourse of this movie when, like, really, it's mostly just about being funny. I think people read into so much into it that it's like, sure, there are political points being made. It is about stuff. It has ideas, but it's like, it's really about being funny primarily.
I'm sorry. I take it back, because here's what it's mostly about. And yes, this is a criticism, but it's one that can be levied at truly any film that comes out of the American studio system, which is this is about selling Barbies.
Well, yeah,
this is a movie about
it's an
Barbie,
ad for Barbies.
Whatever you believe and whoever you are, there's a Barbie for you.
Well, it's actually a great lesson in how capitalism sort of steals and commodifies ideas, even ideas that are oppositional to it. It like eventually brings them into the fold. Like
we can sell that.
Yeah, like this is because I'm blanking on the name. Sasha, who's the daughter? Like America Ferrera's daughter.
Lil Gamora.
Right, Lil Gamora. She starts the movie voicing
every critique.
Right, long-standing feminist opposition and critiques of Barbie that are many of them very legitimate.
Have been true until like 2009.
Yeah.
Then they started like, okay, fine. There's a darker shade of Barbie if you force us.
This is the doll that was like, math is hard. Like, it's the same. And so but by the end of the movie, she becomes a convert. She's like, no, we got to go save the Barbies. We got to go back to Barbie Land. And like, that is the movie telling you, the viewer, put these critiques aside. Above all, Barbie is good, and you should probably buy some for your kid.
It's there for a new generation. No more Bratz. They can get Barbies too. Or do they still do Bratz? I know she's named after a Bratz doll.
I think all of the girls at that lunch table where they're making fun of Barbie, I think all those characters are named after the Bratz dolls.
But it's like whether you're pro Barbie or anti Barbie, Mattel is making money. Either way.
And the Bratz dolls had their own, like they had their own raft of controversies when they were new, right? They were like hypersexualized and sending the wrong messages to young girls.
I don't expect, nor am I let down by the Barbie movie, despite making, I don't know, nods towards this, but at not being like a philosophical antidote to commercialism.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I mean. Like when reviews come out and people are like, "Hey, this movie is actually like surprisingly smart and has stuff on its mind and things to say." I think that immediately gets like overblown into like this is a philosophical treatise that everyone has to like have a fiery, passionate opinion on, and it's like
these are PG-13 movies for children.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Not Wittgenstein. It is a Barbie movie, and like you can just treat it on that level. You don't have like there is stuff to pick apart if you want to. I saw a really good YouTube video. I think Houston Coley's the guy who made it about like all the connections to the Book of Genesis in this movie. And, like you can dig that deep if you want to, because Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach are smart, and they made a smart movie. But you don't have to.
Really, this is like Mother.
Well, I mean, if you think about just like on the most obvious level, like Barbie Land and Eden, there's a lot of comparisons, and like, you know, she kind of like tastes from the tree of knowledge, and then it becomes despoiled, and it is kind of, there's a lot like that. I recommend that video if you want to go real deep into it, but like that's the kind of core idea.
Will Ferrell is a vengeful Old Testament God.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
Mattel would be God. God's judgment. Yeah.
Cheers to that. All right, let's watch our honest trailer for the Barbie movie, and we'll have more to say then.
I guess Ruth would be God. She's the creator.
The Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
From not Amy Schumer, thank God, comes another Greta Gerwig film about a pretty white girl's quarter-life crisis. But this time, it's the backdrop to a literal toy commercial. Barbie. Welcome to Barbie Land, a place where everyone lives by Nietzsche's doctrine of eternal recurrence.
This is the best day ever.
You guys ever think about dying?
I mean a pretty pink neighborhood where everything is perfect. Unlike the toy aisle, it's a land where every race and body type of Barbie is treated equally, as they all copy how they're being played with in the real world, minus the times we make them kiss and mash their smooth plastic mouths together.
I do not have a
Never stopped me. Margot Robbie shine.
I think that is a crucial. It's like there's like 4 to 5 things you can do with a Barbie doll before you're making them scissor, right?
I mean, you're asking. I don't know. I never play.
Well,
I only play with
fair.
the manliest of man toys.
There's only 4 or 5 things you can do with a GI Joe before you make them
It was just
scissor.
a construction worker that turned into a dump truck. That was the only thing I played with.
Yeah, got dumps like a truck. That guy. I just think that's like for a movie as knowing and winky as it was. I guess maybe Mattel's like you can't admit that people like. Make the Barbies kiss.
I think Weird Barbie was their overall all-in-one nod to like non-approved things kids do with their Barbies.
Okay.
And like we got one character that's like, remember you tear their hair out and make them look crazy, without the constant scissoring. Because how do you work that in without the movie?
Okay,
being
even short of scissoring,
NC-17.
you never make Barbie and Ken kiss. Like that's not
Right.
a thing that people play with their dolls to do.
I mean, I guess it is, but well, it's.
I didn't see you playing with your dolls again, sir.
I guess it is. It would be a hard thing to translate into the film.
Fair.
You know, like I think there's one point where the little Gamora asks like, "Do big hands come down and actually like play with you when you're playing?" And like I feel like that's one of those things. Like maybe that would have been more accurate, but it would also look weird,
really strange,
unsettling, uncanny.
Release the hand cut.
The Uncanny Valley Barbie, like the Cats version.
Ugh.
If you brought in like Rob Marshall to make the Barbie movie. Yeah, close enough.
How they're being played with in the real world, minus the times we make them kiss and mash their smooth plastic mouths together.
I do not have a
Never stopped me. Margot Robbie shines as stereotypical Barbie, the best pairing of actor and toy since Vin Diesel stuck his hand up a street shark. Hand shark! You'll believe every step.
Pause.
I gotta just say, this was one of those where I feel like the first emails back and forth of notes about Barbie was just a competition, like who was going to figure out how we work in street shows.
I believe in the script we've stopped putting the actual link to that video and just say the clip.
No need.
No
at this
need.
point. No need. But yeah, like at the moment Barbie, I was like, well, obviously we're working in Vin Diesel's epic street sharks turn.
I have to.
It's just contextually how at this point.
I would guess that's the 4th. Maybe 5th time we've managed to work that clip in, but it won't be the last. That's for sure.
Until Hollywood gets off its ass and makes the Vin Diesel.
I mean,
Street Sharks
odds
movie.
are high there will be one for Aquaman 2. We'll get a Street Shark thing in there.
I mean, next week's trailer, there are sharks. There are mean sharks.
Problematic sharks.
They are very so kind of like we're not gonna rethink these sharks. Okay,
sure. That's
all
your
right,
casting.
Listen,
all
it's
right.
from Japan.
Okay, keep going.
For emotional journey, except the one time she doesn't feel pretty.
Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast if you want to make this point.
In the first film since Legally Blonde, where someone pink and girly wasn't a villain. Because the villain role is already taken by Ken. Ryan Gosling finally gets to shake off his sleepy-eyed murder face and take us back to his Disney dork roots.
Gotta give me that pie.
In a comedic performance that transcends funny for someone who looks like Ryan Gosling.
That's fine.
And approaches funny for someone who doesn't look like Ryan Gosling.
I have all the genitals.
I hope The Nice Guys was a fluke, but no, there's really nothing left for us Uggos. Game over, Goss wins.
Yeah, pause. I mean,
Fo-
some people, God just gives with both hands sometimes.
Yeah, it's
not fair.
Ryan Gosling is unfair.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling is unfair. And the crazy thing is, I went through a bunch of those Disney Mouseketeer clips of him to like try to find like a good thing to use, and like he arrived fully formed. He was already like Ryan Gosling at age like 8. It's
Charming
like,
Canadian.
Yeah, it's like, man, how are you already doing your bit at like
And there's
this
a lot
age?
of hunks out there who they cast in comedic roles and maybe even get laughs, but it's because like they're playing I guess he was playing a dumb hunk, but I'm just thinking of like Hemsworth in Lady Ghostbusters, and
or
stuff
like Chris
that.
Evans gets these kind of parts sometimes.
Yeah. Or like ha 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 ha. Like you're laughing because it's someone who looks like that saying that.
Right.
Granted, Barbie is a bad example, but the other guys, or not the other guys, the nice guys.
Yeah.
So funny in that.
Yeah, he's got like genuine like comic chat. Like I even this like he is kind of playing like the dumb jock caricature, but there's a lot of layers to Ken in here, and he pulls off the like dream ballet musical sequence too.
Yeah.
It's like
The dream within a dream.
the same guy shouldn't be able to do Drive, La La Land, and this. That's not fair. That's not fair.
I'm not a La La Land liker, but that's fine.
Or Blue Valentine.
Sure,
Take your pick. Pick another weird outside the box.
There you go. All right, keep going.
Along on Barbie and Ken's trip to the real world. Sometimes it's the reality we live in. Sometimes it's more zany than Barbie Land. There, Ken will speedrun through the manosphere like a middle schooler's first Andrew Tate video.
What was that?
While Barbie will have to balance handling her new feelings of inferiority with the superior handling of the new Chevy Blazer EV.
Get it! Ah! I gotta lose these chuckleheads.
Her discomfort with being judged by her exterior with the smooth comfort of the new Chevy Suburban's interior.
Thanks for the ride. This has been so much fun.
A truck car I'd like to have, actually.
In this epic voyage of self-discovery that wouldn't be possible without first getting into the 1956 Chevy Corvette C1. It's subtle, like a rock.
Yeah,
But
pause.
Barbie and Ken aren't the only...
Yes, it is a car commercial. I feel like we made that point pretty well. But just touching on something from the beginning that's maybe glossed over a little bit is, do you think the satire or the message is undercut, or not undercut, but muddled by the fact that like the real world has a lot going on that's not particularly real? Like she goes to the real world,
Right.
And it's as much of a cartoon as Barbie Land half the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the real world of a Hollywood goofy comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Barbie Land is so heightened that even going to, like, the real world of a zany comedy, it still feels different enough that the movie worked. Like, this wasn't a problem for me, but you're right that our reality in Barbie is not really practical.
I guess it's less
reality.
you're right, that it's less the two different realities and more like it seemed like there were two overlapping villain plots, and I don't think you needed Will Ferrell.
No, you don't
in
need
this movie.
you definitely don't need the Mattel executives, and you could tell because I think she wanted to do that one sequence where they originally go there and they try to get her in the box and she meets Ruth, and then I don't really feel like Greta Gerwig or Noah Baumbach had any idea of like what to do with them after. So it ends up being this chase thing.
Yeah,
that
and
lets
Will
them
Ferrell's
get the
like
car commercial stuff in there.
You think Will Ferrell's this like heartless executive who just cares about money, but then his character's like genuinely cares about little girls' dreams.
And that's also, it's a little piece of satire that I'm not quite sure it works.
Yeah.
It seems to kind of be both things at the same time. Like, are we making fun of like woke corporations and like these companies pretend to be about social justice, but really they're just about selling you things? Or is this sincere? You know, it was hard to know how to sort of take it. I think at some point the movie's working on so many layers that it's like hard to gauge what level of reality we're supposed to be at.
And I think it was would have been fine to just have Ken and Barbie both be, I don't know, radicalized or realized from their trip to the real world instead of that whole kind of farce of the executives.
Yeah, I don't think you need all of the executives going to Barbie Land and showing up at the end and all that chase stuff. It does end up feeling like this isn't a chase movie. We don't need, like, there are so many hijinks going on conceptually. I don't think we need these, like,
but otherwise, how are you going to know the Chevy Bolt EV has a turbo mode?
Yeah, I mean, wow, this is really like Mattel didn't give them enough. Like, that's where it's crazy. It's like Mattel didn't give Warner Brothers enough to make this movie. Warner Brothers was still like out there with the passing the hat around like anybody else. Chevy, can you please, Chevy, can you help us make a Barbie movie? Like, it's a Barbie movie. Just have the people who make Barbie fund it. What is
to
going
quote Mr.
on?
Burns, I'd trade it all for a little more.
That's crazy. It's like whether they just not, like, Zaz just didn't want to pay at all. He's like, we could have Chevy pay for the Barbie movie, and then it's pure profit.
All right, keep
They
going.
got a whole new bucket of yacht grease.
That's that Zaz, baby. And all that Zaz.
You gotta, like,
Characters
yacht
getting
grease.
in and out of various Chevrolets. There's Gloria, whose show-stopping monologue builds on the ideas first set forth by a hat with Pobody's Nerfict on it.
Not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault.
Her daughter Sasha, a lifelike Bratz doll, who shows young girls how capitalism subsumes all critiques into itself.
You represent everything wrong with our culture. Barbie Land needs saving. Barbie needs saving.
Weird Barbie, who's so weird you don't know if she's gonna do the splits or reinforce China's territorial claims over Vietnam. Alan, Michael Cera's long overdue apology for the crimes of Scott Pilgrim. Will Ferrell as Lord Business, the CEO.
By the way, people are popping off in the comments like, what did Scott Pilgrim do? Rewatch Scott Pilgrim. He knows what he did. I mean,
on the most obvious level, he's like dating a teenager in the beginning, isn't he?
Well,
Is it
speaking
Knives
speaking
underage when he's dating her? And, like, Scott Pilgrim there's some obvious stuff that he's not doing right.
Great time to plug the by the numbers on Hollywood age gaps, by the way. Thank you for that teeing up that segue.
Neat. I did that on purpose.
Yeah, age gaps problematic, or you be the judge. Check that out on Fandom Entertainment.
What do you think? There was a tweet yesterday that was like the age gap in Lost in Translation is inappropriate. Like, but they're not. Like, do they need to seal the deal for it to be an inappropriate age gap, or is like even an
emotional affair,
a weird crush that you don't ever do anything about inappropriate? I think that's the question being thrown down there. Because there's
sound off in the comments.
There's obviously something between those two characters, but it's not like a romance. Like, they don't kiss and make out.
Yeah, she just like can't stand Spike Jonze.
Yeah, like she gets there's a little like emotional jealousy or whatever, but they're not a couple in a traditional sense. So I don't know if you can have May December discourse.
You have to have penetration.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What level of penetrative sex do you have to have before
on screen
May December romance becomes an issue?
Got it.
Tell us in the comments.
Tell us in
Sound
the comments.
off.
Yeah, all right, keep going.
Of Mattel, whatever, and a rousing game of spot the actor from every British TV show Greta Gerwig likes. Because we all
She's got that
stupid now,
Acorn
it's up
TV.
to a Barbie movie to teach audiences about feminism,
Oh, look! The Supreme Court!
They're so smart.
the patriarchy,
I'm a man with no power. Does that make me a woman?
and female anatomy.
I'm here to see my gynecologist.
In a fresh new installment of Woke Wars 2K23 that did the opposite of go broke, in a basic 101 level lecture full of broad generalizations and naive fixes.
By giving voice to the cognitive dissonance required to be a woman under the patriarchy, you robbed it of its power.
Yes.
Because it's a popcorn movie. Congrats, you're smarter than a child's doll. Here's a student loan. So enjoy
pause.
the smash hit of the year.
I'm just tickled by the speaking of the installment of Woke Wars 2K23.
Yeah.
That this came out. People said it was going to bomb because it was too woke. It didn't. And now they have to say it's actually secretly anti-woke.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro's fiery opening night rant. Ignore that. He was wrong. It's actually very anti-woke.
It's actually quite anti-woke.
I love that. But his first video, he's like, I didn't want to come see this. My producers forced me. They made me. They dragged me to come see Barbie. It's like, you wanted to see Barbie. You knew that you were going to yell about it. Come on. Don't lie.
I'm just trying to think of more excuses to do my Jordan Peterson impression. And has he chimed in on Barbie?
Yeah, I'm sure. It was like, I don't know about this Barbie movie.
These poor kids living under the femtocracy are forced to do to beat each other day in, day out. Well,
you can come to my house and force me to watch this Barbie movie at the end of a knife. I won't watch it otherwise.
Up yours.
Up yours, woke Ken.
The spinoff that's begging to happen someday. Just need a good Kermit the Frog puppet.
Of course, he's got to be wearing like a Two-Face suit, like half pink,
Oh, he has to
half
be wearing
black,
like two
checkered.
or three suits that ran into each other at high speed.
You know, you remember Matthew Lesko?
The original
question
Riddler.
mark?
Yeah,
It's like,
you can get money from the government.
I feel like Jordan Peterson's our new get money from the government guy.
Oh man. All
The
right.
kids are too young for that reference.
Yeah, it's fine.
Look them up.
Keep going.
That shines thanks to its incredible production design, perfect casting, and a release date that got them more free press than the Grimace Shake. In one of those hits that should remind Hollywood women like good comedy too. But Warner Brothers will see the results and conclude toys. They love looking at toys. Give me Uno. Give me Barney. Give me my Magic 8-Ball. Woo, toys. Starring
The Pink Ranger.
Gus and the Real Girl. Brand Parenthood.
When is Gamora? Alan.
Barbie Mama Drama.
You're just a woman. Woman with a small brain. A brain a third the size of us. It's just science.
Cynthia from Rugrats. Rep Shang Chud. C-sections in Barbie Land are a bit excessive. Aqua. Every couple's costume this Halloween.
For sure.
Every TikTok this year.
I used to float.
When you know they had Tarantino.
The return of feet.
Yeah. She's doing this on purpose.
When you know they lost Tarantino.
I don't want to touch a foot.
When they stuck it to Film Bros.
It's like I've been in a dream where I was somehow really invested in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
And when they went too far.
Oh my God, you've never seen The Godfather?
Can you start the movie over and just talk through the whole thing?
The Godfather is a masterpiece. Francis Ford Coppola's mastery of the craft is beyond Oh, no, I'm one of them, aren't I?
Yeah, pause. I mean, I felt very targeted by this. My wife, then girlfriend, I was like, you haven't seen The Godfather?
Yeah.
And we watched Godfather 1 and 2. I don't think I talked through them at all through the viewing, but I was like, what? You haven't seen The Godfather?
Yeah,
and I didn't make her, but I was like, it's Godfather night. Let's watch it.
I don't know if there's a dude who loves movies who's capable of hearing the phrase "I've never seen The Godfather" without reacting.
Yeah.
It's just baked into us.
Yeah.
We can't do anything about it.
Got him.
That's like, I feel like that's Noah Baumbach just being self-aware. It's like, all right, you can like put this in here because I'm like this.
Yeah. I do think that talking through a movie is a killable offense, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely first time. If anybody in the room is watching it for the first time, you be quiet.
Yeah.
You let them experience it the way it's meant to be.
Exactly.
The first time, after the first time. Once you're watching it for the third time, go for it.
There you go. Let's wrap it up.
Guys and dolls.
I have a TV in my back. You know whose dream that is? Nobody. Nobody's dream.
Did they not consult any men on the script?
I should have put in the George Costanza scene where he's having sex, eating the hoagie, and watching television at the same time.
It's a dream.
It's a dream. All right. So
Can I just say,
yeah.
I was going to comment before, but I didn't want to pause. One of the toys that always makes this headline whenever they're like, Mattel's got a lineup, is Polly Pocket. And I'm not sure if this is just me being a man and like this was not marketed to me, so I don't. I swear I'd never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Was that a big thing
That
when
was
we
a
were
thing.
kids? Polly Pocket?
I remember the commercials. I don't think everybody was.
Until they started talking about we're gonna I think Lena Dunham is making the Polly Pocket
There was
movie?
a boy one, like I want to say Micro Max. What? It was Max. Just
There was Mighty Max was a toy when I
but
was
he
a
was
kid.
very small. Was it Micro Max or was it?
Well, there was a
just
toy named
Max?
Mighty Max. I don't remember.
Mighty
a Micro
Max. Yeah, Mighty Max.
Mighty Max. Mighty Max.
Yeah.
Like those ads I remember.
He was.
Because that's the thing is like there are a lot of girl toys. I remember the commercials. I just never had them. But like I don't remember. I feel like Polly Pocket was like. It's one of those like Mandela effect things. Like this was not. I don't believe you. That's not a real.
I
toy.
just remember the commercials during Saturday morning cartoons, and Micro Machines as long as we're talking about.
Sure,
small
yeah,
things.
like that, right? Like because there are a lot of I was writing a video for another company about Dino Riders, and like I never had those toys when I was a kid, but I definitely remember the existence of Dino Riders.
We are at the absolute bottom urinal cake of the IP barrel at this point. So
I mean, toys really like other than the biggest ones. Like we've done Barbie, G.I. Joe, Transformers, but even like Masters of the Universe we haven't done. Like I feel like there's a lot of classic toys that haven't gotten the.
They just had the Kevin Smith show, right?
There's right. Well, there's multiple animated shows now.
Yeah, no, there's not much left that's like a one
Primo,
word, like
like the top line.
And you can't do like. The yo-yos like Lincoln Logs.
Yeah,
like
you
stick.
can't. Right.
That's the stick. Stretch Armstrong. They've been tried.
They keep trying, and
Yeah.
that's another one where it's like I remember that being a toy that existed, but like, does he have lore? Does anybody really care at this point? Like, it's just a name.
We should write the stick movie though, because there's nothing cooler as a young boy than to like find a big stick.
A big, like a well-shaped,
well-shaped
stick
big
that would like could work as like a weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it's got to be walking stick and then lightsaber.
Sword,
right.
gun.
It's got to cover both of those angles.
Yeah, he finds like the ultimate stick, but there's a dark stick.
I hate to tell
somewhere
you,
in the forest.
Pretty much every epic fantasy is basically just that.
The stick
It's
of
like,
truth.
We gotta
Yeah.
find the dark stick
Yeah.
or the light stick, the stick of light, the bright wand.
Is that from Bright?
Yeah, the bright.
Yeah.
They're looking for the bright wand, which is a stick.
This
That's
could be
literally a magic
This
stick.
could be our Star Wars line. All right, thank you.
Feels crazy.
Thanks for watching, et cetera, et cetera. Watch the by numbers on this channel, and hit like and subscribe because we'll be back next week for another one that you've probably
That I already
guessed.
gave away.
Let's go into the chat.
It's Japanese.
Evan J. Pretzer, of all of Mattel's other crazy film ideas, what do you think will work? I say the A24 style Barney movie. I do not agree with that. I think that is going to be so bad.
I mean, I feel like we've done this. Like Barbie did the modern version take on discourse on the toy meets the classic toy thing. Like and every other movie already does the like, oh, you like Woody Woodpecker? Well, now he's in the real world. And it's like, I feel like we're already at the point where we kind of need a new angle. Like, what's the new satirical take that's
what
not
if Stretch
just...
Armstrong was a pirate on the seas?
And it was very violent, but also dumb.
Can't wait.
What's coming up next week?
coming
I
up
don't
next
know.
week?
We're being so vague.
Oh, yeah, sure. Throw some outtakes in there.
Starring Feminocchio, Beach Boy, Tata Tand, Replicant, How to Train Your Children, Doll in the Family, The Secret Strife of America's Teenager, Him? Forever Alone, Another Wimp on the Barbie, Rhea Girlman, Saturday Night Shouldn't Be Alive, Weird Gal Swankovic, H.B. Otis, Ken's Convenience, Kensley Benadir, Secret Invade Ken, A Few Good Ken, Toy Meets World, Ken, featuring Barbie. Listen, I know I said we need more movies about getting high, but I meant like Half-Baked 2 or something.
Hi, Barbie. Hi. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
So, does Barbie's real person magic extend to social security numbers and backdated birth certificates, or is it just for hoo-haws?
Makes you think.
I'll tell you what made me think. Earlier in the film, she says she has no genitals. So when she does make this decision, and Ruth is like, "Do you want to be a woman?" and she's like, "Yes, I want to be a real human." Something very dramatic happened. How did that feel?
Yeah. All right. Damien says, in reference to Barbenheimer, which two movies would make the best all-time opening weekend matchup or complement each other?
I wish I'd. That's a really good question,
a good, like,
and
movie
I
fights
wish
question,
I'd thought about it in advance. Because I mean, the thing that was so fun about this was they're both good, but they're such tonally
and I don't want to fall
different.
into like I could pick another boy movie, girl movie. Or
yeah, right. But it's like that's not exactly the whole deal.
Yeah,
I don't know.
7. No.
7 and Shrek.
7 and Shrek.
There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shrek 7.
Shrek 7.
Yeah. Shreven.
Shreven.
Let's see.
No, you do Shrek, but with the 7 in place of the. Oh no, I guess it doesn't. Really. It's kind of chill like the H, but I think it doesn't.
Adam Hulbert says, I've been stressed from how the strike has affected my job. Wondering if you heard anything on tomorrow's WJAM TP meeting. No. I'm sorry.
I mean, just that it's happening, which is good, and the fact that that the last time they met, it wasn't that long ago, so they obviously have one side or the other has some new thing they want to talk about, or there would be no point. So
yeah, we'll give you everything you want, but we get to recreate you in AI and torture you for all eternity.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that the back and forth discourse of the last few weeks about which shows can come back. It's wearing on everybody. Everyone's fatigued. Everyone's tired of this. Studios, streamers, and actors and writers. And so hopefully we're circling Endgame if everybody's being
I heard something
pulled this tight.
depressing. Sorry to make it worse. But it's like even if they came to an agreement today, it still takes 4 to 6 weeks to get a contract written up and signed, and then it's the holidays, so no one's gonna actually
that's
come to work in December. So it's even in a today we end the strike scenario, it's not gonna start back up until like January.
Right. That was the original when the strikes were first starting, and there were all those articles that were like, Labor Day is really like, we need to get this figured out by Labor Day without having major impact on 2024. Like, we are now already past Labor Day, so all of those negative things have now happened. We've written off the rest of this year, and now it's about like, can we hit the ground running in 2024, or is there even more pain coming next year? And like, yeah, so we're already looking down the road like brutal. It is. Brutal.
All right. So let's see. Two more. Raynard City Update Channel says, what kind of Ken would you be?
Aren't they all? They're all pretty similar.
No, there's like a. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, there's like
Like, what's the differences between Kens?
They definitely had different Kens.
I feel like I'm more of an Alan.
Be an Alan.
In a world of Kens, be an Alan.
Yeah, there you go.
Putting that little sign next to my it's wine o'clock. It's one of those.
Stitch that in a pillow. And Green Star will end with this. Has anyone seen the new One Piece series on Netflix? I enjoyed it very much. Wondering on your thoughts. Tune in next week for Honest Trailer Commentaries, where we will dive into the good live-action adaptation of the good anime. Long-running.
You want to be a pirate? That's my good impression of every character.
Honest Trailers! I'm a pirate! For 17 episodes. No, 8 episodes. Oh, it felt like 17 sometimes. But there's things to like, too.
Sure.
We'll figure that out next week, right here on Honest Trailer Commentaries. Talk soon. Bye-bye.